Cool. So, welcome to the third Food on Our Tables meetup. And thanks again for joining. So we are currently, well, parts of us in Vienna, parts of us in Rotterdam, and we're going to have someone from Bucharest joining us shortly as well. That's very exciting. There's obviously some new guests joining today compared to our other calls, so I thought we would start, like usually, with a short introduction. And then basically what I thought we would do today is do a little bit of brainstorming around the problems that we identified during the last call, and I'm gonna get back to them obviously because some of you were not on that call. And just try to come up with some kind of ideas, and then of course at the end some open discussion for whoever would like to stay on longer. So I'll just go first if that's okay. So I'm Ioana. I run the blog Berries and Spice, and I started this website and initiative, Food on Our Tables, when the crisis started, in a quest to support the food and beverage industry, as well as bring global minds together, think outside the box. And basically my purpose is to bring people together from the industry, from multiple countries, from multiple businesses, multiple types of businesses, and let's see what we can come up with together. Right, Gilles, can you start, please?
Yes, hi. My name is Gilles. I'm running a bar, 2 coffee shops. Meanwhile, only 1 coffee shop. We just signed a contract that we have to give 1 up. Financially, it's not working anymore. I'm now running also a delivery service. I had a catering, or I still have a catering company, and we do consulting, gastronomy consulting. And yeah, since the crisis started, I'm also doing like a kind of live podcast, whatever, which is very helpful because the industry is joining constantly and asking tons of questions. So that's what I'm doing together with my partner, who is not taking part in the call because yeah, she's not living with me.
Cool, Adi.
Yes, together with my wife Simone, we run Karma Food, based in Vienna, and we have 7 shops in and around Vienna, where we serve lunch to roughly 500 to 600 people a day in all our shops. And yeah, right now we are on a forced break where we have to just stop doing that what we do. But nevertheless, we have started from the first day of the crisis with the cooking channel on Instagram, on our main channel, and every week we have one live cooking session where roughly 300 to 400 people are turning in, watching, and getting all the ingredients and cooking with us, which is quite interesting to do. And yeah, this is it for us for now, and let's see what comes after the time.
Cool. We've got Alex joining us. Let's just wait for him for 1 second so that we can hear him as well, so that he can hear. Hey, Alex.
Hey.
Alex?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Hi.
We cannot see you though.
Okay, let's see what I can do. I don't know.
There should be
Yeah, I got it.
Hey. Alex, we were just doing some quick intros. So you've joined at the perfect time. I mean, Gilles and Adi have already spoken, but we can just quickly, go through it again. And because actually the last person who's joining us already knows a lot of you. Okay. So Maarten, I'm passing this over to you.
Yeah, hello. I'm a coffee roaster in Rotterdam. I started in 2013. Before that, I was a journalist. I wrote a lot about coffee, of course, but also books for chefs and restaurant reviews. And working in the business, I noticed that coffee was a little bit of a forgotten product. And I started to write also about coffee, how to prepare coffee. And this was in the beginning of this century. And from this came a reader. The reader was an introduction to the coffee world for me. So I met a lot of people. They asked me to become a judge. So I became, at the end, head judge and international judge for the Barista Championship. And in 2013, I started Giraffe. And now I am working with 12 people in my roastery in Rotterdam. And we have about 300, 400 clients. And I do only specialty coffee. I have about 5 blends, and I 6, 7 single origins at any moment every year. So that's what I'm doing. And together with the roastery, I started the Coffee Academy, and I have staff who can train my customers to any level they want within the SCA standards.
Cool. How's it been for you since this started, actually?
Now we mainly, our main clients are hotels and restaurants, so those are closed. That means that I should have a loss in turnover about 95%. But by joining local projects, doing projects with retailers, I managed to sell about 30% still of my coffee. So that's, yeah, you have to be very innovative and strategic, and yeah, be very entrepreneur in a new way. So I'm also looking today to other channels like bol.com. That's a kind of Amazon. But yeah, I was always afraid of doing this because I got the feeling that it doesn't match those channels with specialty coffee. But a lot of people still say, no, that's no problem. They use it as a Google. And if you can find on Google specialty coffee, nobody will complain. And it's the same with bol.com in the Netherlands. So that's perhaps a good question to ask you. What do you think about those channels?
I think it's being a huge marketplace, and you have so many different sort of clients on that huge marketplace, which is the gateway to the internet. It is Amazon. And I mean, we love coffee. We are very passionate about coffee. We try to travel and see the world, especially to visit the coffee roasteries there. So everywhere where we go, we buy like 5 kilos of different sort of varieties of coffee with us. And to be honest, in these times, I don't see any. For me, it wouldn't be like a no deal that I say, okay, I will not buy that coffee because this is on Amazon. Because Amazon is selling, a lot of people are selling organic produce over Amazon as well. This is just, I mean, obviously on one hand, you have this, you don't have to lay with the devil instead of to push your business forward. But in these sort of measures, it would be not wise to ignore the huge community that is still there, because everybody's sitting at home and typing in, okay, specialty coffee or this, and they are being picked up by Amazon or by Google or whatsoever. So I totally agree with that argument that Amazon in that aspect is kind of like Google, because people use it as a search engine for stuff they are looking into. And it could be a huge possibility to finding new client base. And because there are so many people, I mean, I try to use Amazon less and less. So I think for the time of the crisis, we haven't bought anything of Amazon, like Googling something and then looking for in the internet who is selling that locally and buying that way. But like on an international level, I think that would be definitely a good thing.
Yeah. Alex, could we hear from you as well? If you can please introduce yourself.
Hey, hello. My name is Alexandru Dumitru. I am a chef from Romania. I just opened my own restaurant, I think 10 days before the the crisis started. I thought we were in deep shit after that, but we kind of moved a little bit. We started delivering some, how you call it? Hello, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
we started delivering foods. I don't know, how can you call it? Ioana?
Jars, basically.
Yeah, jars. So we made food in jars, but spreadables mostly, like a pate, like a confit, like you know, chutney, honey, cream cheese. We start making all that. A pesto of wild garlic. I don't know. There's plenty of ideas. Because I couldn't be here every day, so I bottled the jars, and then my partner was delivering it for like a week, and then I was coming back to Bucharest, do more, and we start delivering. So we kind of make I don't know, we started very pessimistic, but we kind of make a good impact. So with this money, we pay mostly what we had to pay from the back. We were cut with a lot of bills, and we still have to pay monthly. I mean, theoretically, we still have to pay monthly bills, like because we have loans and we have. I don't know. It's tough. I probably shouldn't be thinking about it now, but it's okay.
Don't think about it.
Drink.
Yeah. And now we had a good last week we promoted the Easter package. We made like a roast of saddle of lamb. We have a lot of vegetables, 2 bottles of wine. We make a Easter dinner and lunch combined, kind of full meal, full package, and we sell actually pretty good. We work for 3 days straight from 7 to 9 p.m. to make it happen in 3 people. And now I think we kind of, for like a month now, we kind of survive on that income most of the time. I mean, I hopefully during these times, it's not a time to be snazzy about it and just accept the way it is, and make the most with what you have, and that's it. Yeah. But I'm happy that people, I mean, guests, because we were not really known to people, but they reacted well. We had a good feedback, like because we changed the spreadables during the weeks, so we kind of kept some customers. The ones that we bought the first week, they start buying the next week. They got some wine as well, and now they get the Easter package. So we are happy now. I hope this will not last too long, though.
Yeah. So one thing, because Alex is usually, he doesn't necessarily like to talk about all the amazing things he does. So I'll just step in and add just one thing, that Alex was also the Gomio Chef of the Year in Romania last year, and he also won the Terroir Award the year before. So he's doing some very, very cool stuff and reinventing Romanian cuisine, and I thought that was an important thing to mention.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Cool. So Alex, since you joined a little bit later, you have not heard from Gilles and Adi. So okay. If it's okay, guys, to just in one sentence describe what you do, because we're gonna get to initiatives and so on later anyway.
Should I start?
Sure.
Hello.
Hi again. Alex, I run a cocktail bar in Vienna. I had 2 coffee shops, specialty coffee shops, now only remaining. Unfortunately, catering company, consulting, and since the crisis started, some kind of podcast where I try to get bar owners and industry together to see what we can do. That's it.
Yes, I'm from Karma Food. We, together with my wife, I run Karma Food, and we have 7 lunch spots around Vienna. And right now, our main task is getting through this. Yeah, in one sentence.
Good luck.
We'll manage. Nice.
Great. Thank you all for the presentations. Right, so as I said earlier, I was thinking we could go through the 4 key challenges, 5 actually, there are 5 of them, I wrote 4 by mistake. The 5 key challenges that we identified during our call 2 weeks ago, where we basically just brainstormed all the issues, challenges that the industry is facing at the moment. And then at the end of the workshop, we voted on those that seemed the most relevant or the most pressing. So I will share my screen, since this is what I do so often anyway. So here they are, 5. Now let me change this to 5. So the first one is, how can businesses work together more to support each other? So it was around the idea of building trust and collaboration.
I can't hear you anymore since you switched to that screen. I don't know.
Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Okay, so it's...
Wait, let's try. Can you hear me now?
Nah, maybe it's my earpods way. I just put them back in and up. But continue talking. I'm gonna switch on computer.
All right. So basically, now there's some. No, it's fine. Okay, we're fine. So yeah, so the first one was how to work together more. Basically getting businesses either from the same field to work together. Alex, I'll just mute you for a second. The second one was who will be there, which seemed to be quite a big discussion 2 weeks ago. So, you know, once this crisis is over, who's going to be there in terms of customers, partners, and so on. So, you know, how can we build meaningful connections at this stage, and how can, you know, business models change or the offering change? I mean, I guess all of you have had to change your offering in some way or another, be it through pre-batched stuff and deliveries and so on. The third one was around the idea of creating a new culture of spending money. So the discussion there was, okay, you know, how can we make people understand that it is very important to support local businesses right now, but not just right now, also immediately after the crisis. So because obviously everyone's really uncertain about the situation, about the economic situation and so on. So people tend to be more, consumers tend to be a bit more reluctant to spending money. But how can we, you know, push for them to understand that there's a lot of value in supporting local businesses? The fourth one was around mental health and resilience. So we talked about the fact that obviously with so much uncertainty, with people, with business owners having to maybe, you know, fire some of the staff or, you know, do the technical, whatever it's called. Basically, there's a lot of sadness pretty much. And how can we support that and build more resilience? So how can we make people be more adaptable? And the last point was around how can we influence local governments to basically support local businesses, not just now, but also perhaps at the end by perhaps using some of the restrictions. So for example, I remember you, Gilles, mentioned that it is very difficult, you know, to set up I think it was a bar or something like that in terms of space and legal requirements, and we cannot hear you. Nope.
Jill, maybe you use the laptop audio and computer. I have a similar issue with my Bluetooth headphones as well.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, perfectly.
Yeah, so I just go by computer. So
Apple, right?
Problem true.
Cool. So what I thought we would do is basically run this by each of you, and let's gather thoughts and let's pick one of these and then split it into smaller elements and try to come up with some ideas. So over to you.
Okay, I would start with how can businesses work together more to support each other. We use like created sites by the industry. For example, for now we are also doing delivery by the website from Hennessy Moet, Hennessy Cognac and Moet Champagne. They are creating websites where all the bars can set up their drink menu. The only thing is you have to do at least 2 drinks with their own products, and you get them for free. So basically, there's no cost behind it. That's a mechanism we use for that one. Plus, I just call everyone from the industry where we get products from, which is way easier than like if you. But yeah, I call them and just ask them right away what they can do for us and what we need. I tell exactly everybody what we need, how they can help us. Because yeah, for now we are getting a lot of like small packages with a bottle of gin and 2 tonics and like have a nice quarantine, which doesn't help actually. So I tell them, listen guys, I need 500 euros. I need 30 boxes of your ginger beer. I need 10 boxes of whatever. So I am pretty straight when it comes to the big industry. When it comes to small companies I work with, I ask them also what I can do for them. So I do packages with their drinks, and I ask them if they can instead give me like, and if it's just a tray or something, so how we can work together and support each other. Plus I run that kind of, I don't know, Instagram live podcast.
Yeah.
But which turns out to be actually pretty good, where I always invite people from the industry, from smaller companies like handcraft products, plus just bartenders to see what the problem is about. We just do it on a very easy level, a lot of laughing, a lot of joking, a lot of talking nonsense and drinking. But I think that's a key point for the bar. And for the coffee shop, our roaster, we are selling a lot of beans. So we asked, like that's what he's doing. He's asking all the coffee shops just to do deliveries or to send coffee to people, because I see that we sell way more coffee beans than we did before, just because people need, or people feel so good when they just have their casual coffee, which they pick up every day from our coffee shop, and they just have the beans delivered home. So we deliver them home, and that's how our roaster is for now surviving, because all the guys he's doing roasts for, they just deliver his coffee, and does actually not like he did before, but he's doing actually pretty good. We deliver twice a week, and I would say we sell every delivery around 20 kilos, which is already pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
so
great.
That's what we do together with, like, coffee shop. We cannot sell coffee, not because you have to, in Austria for now, we have to pre-order everything you pick up, and that's impossible to do. So that's what we do and how we work together. With other coffee shops, it's very, very difficult to work together in Austria, like with the specialty coffee scene, because you just have the same product and we are all in the same situation because no one can sell coffee. So what we do is, if we don't have a product, we just send them to the other ones. Like we had, someone wanted a grinder, and I told him we didn't have it anymore, but just go to Café Mick, that's one of the coffee shops, and get it there. So that's how we try to do the work together more.
So, Adi, Maarten, Alex, which of these challenges would be the most interesting to you, for you to, I mean, for you right now, for us to solve together or discuss further?
I think the most interesting part for now is working together more, building up collaboration, building up alliances. We are in a deep discussion with a company called Rapstars. We don't have the same business. And I'm talking more or less every day to Marco. We have this Slack platform where we have collected like 60, 70, 80 different restaurants and people from Vienna.
Great idea, actually.
Where we share all the information that we get from our tax advisors, from our financial advisors, from our banks. The thing right now is, in these uncertain times, to be on the same page, that everybody has the same information level, especially regarding these Kurzarbeit topics that we had in Austria, because it was until the March 30th, it seemed like a bad decision to take. but only after like everything was laid out layer by layer, it seems as a good decision, because financially at least. This is something that we are exploring a bit more. We have started talking about how about, like, especially for companies our size, how about having a joint venture in a level of like airline does, with this co-share agreements and alliances. How about we come together and build up a small PR marketing department where we have 1 or 2 persons sitting in that apartment who are taking care of 3, 4, 5 companies with high quality content. Because I think the times where you could reach your audience online with this in your hand and shaky cam and everything, because people are being treated with high level of content for free, and I think it is our job to level this game up, and we have to be able to do that also or by ourselves, and we have to be able to spend time there. And this is something that we are exploring right now, if that makes sense. Like, we have a shared marketing and advertisement department internally, or sort of a pool where we can help each other with, like, suppliers from this pool can also supply this company, and we can get rebates that they are getting. So this is something that we thought it might be interesting to, like, work together on that level as well. Not only like, okay, we support each other, but also really create some entity that can be sort of like, if you negotiate with other people and if you negotiate with external partners, you can get some benefits and also have one joint marketing department as well. So this is something that we are working on right now. And also the idea of a podcast is a very intriguing one that we are carrying with ourselves for many time now, because I think it is important to let everybody know who is out there, what it means to be in this food business. What does it mean? Who are the people who are in this food industry? And that would be something that is not only exclusive for the people in the food industry, but it would be something that, like, everybody can listen into. Okay, who are these people who are putting the food on our tables, literally? Who are those? What are their stories? What are the challenges? How did they manage to deal with that critical situation that we have? So this is something that we are working on right now. And work together, this part. And the second thing that is for me very interesting is the influence local government, because I think the current crisis has shown us that it is important to cater to small and medium-sized businesses, because they are the backbone. And I think this is, if this crisis has shown something to everybody, is that we need these small, medium-sized businesses. We need them. Otherwise, you would have, like, in Austria, from nowadays to the next day, like 500,000 people without a job. And basically the society's like huge uncertainty there. And we need definitely more support, especially in the small business area, because, like, a big, huge business, for them, it's like, okay, we have this sort of structure, we have enough funds, we have enough reputation, we have enough resources, we can deal with that situation while thinking about our future as well. But for companies that are our size, we have to be like, we have to be like superheroes in order to deal with the current crisis, but not forgetting that there will be a time coming after the crisis as well.
Yeah.
So this is something that we need more help from the authorities. It may be that, easing up founding a new company and a bit more support. I mean, obviously in Austria, we are in a very lucky situation, even though we haven't seen any money yet because everybody is talking about, people will get 38 billion euros in this bound and money there, but nobody has seen any money yet for anything. But still, at least there is this possibility, we are quite fortunate.
Yeah.
There's many more things that could be done on a smaller level. And one of them, the biggest one of them all, is just less restrictions, because this is not our core business, dealing with this sort of regulations and dealing with
Yeah.
like 8 people coming from the authorities and everybody's another opinion, and you have to cater to all of them in order to get your permission or whatever. Yeah, this is just top of the hand now.
Cool. So Maarten and Alex.
Okay, I'll start.
Hmm?
I'll do my part.
Okay.
All right. I think also the first. Anyway, all those items are, I think, related, because if you work together with someone, you will reach more customers, you will reach more guests, you will combine more ideas. People will. I mean, everyone has his own kind of followers and people that are into this, and reaching by combining more people into one idea, or some more ideas will reach more people. Maybe if the quality of the content will be, good enough, because now people are staying in their homes and they're kind of looking for new stuff. It's a good opportunity to come up with some really good ideas if they are.
Yeah.
And I think this is the third item also is how this will lead to the third item is how can we create a new culture of spending money. So you need to reach to the guests in different ways to make them spend. I think in the end it's about the money now, because we run small business, big business, doesn't matter. It's still run by money. So if you need to take care of your employees, if you need to take care of your family, you need to produce money, and you need to think about that now. I think this year that is now, in probably the next one, is still going to be difficult. The governments will impose new strange strange behavior for the guests. Will be more tricky to gather more people in your business. And I think the best now is to think of something that can reach people virtually by by a book, by some content that cannot mean necessarily for the guest to be somewhere. He can get it at his house.
Yeah.
And I think for me it's a issue that I think about every day. And also hopefully I can open and cook the restaurant. I don't know, for less guests, but still I need this. So I think the first and the third one, it's my choice.
All right. I mean, I presume my thinking was through this series of workshops we would basically get to tackle all of these, but we would pick one and then do it one at a time, and kind of see what how things develop and so on. So Maarten, how are you feeling about this? Because there's a high vote here.
I first want to show you this bottle because I drink together with you, our Vienniks, because I'm drinking a wine from Wiener gemischter Satz aus Nussberg.
From a neighborhood.
House.
Of this house.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that's drinking together. Now working together, we do a lot together with local partners. We have our roastery is separated from our academy physically, and the academy was closed because we couldn't give lessons because it was socially not impossible. So we gave this room to a local partners, Rotterdam, and they make a box with around 15 products every week. And you will find a local butcher, local cheesemakers, local whatever. And we as a roastery, we deliver personally every week to our customers, but our deliverers have nothing to do, so they drive it around. And this is one good example of, I think, how we work together at this moment. For the future, I think it's for us a big chance to get a new network. We need new people. We see a lot of new customers coming to our coffee. Together with my current clients, I try to work together like a chocolate specialty coffee shop. I try to convince my current clients to sell the coffee in the future. these kind of smaller things I'm doing. And yeah, I try to do in the chain of coffee to do interviews and show the chain to my customers. So I present my coffee partners in origin countries or in the chain. I ask them very technical questions. Can you tell me something? I do a little interviews and I share them on the internet. So that's working together for me at the moment. To go to the second question, who will be there? I asked this also last week to my friends and colleagues, and you get two different answers, which sounds very convincing if you hear to the answers. The one answer is yes, only people who serve quality will stay, because quality passes every crisis. The other answer is no, it's not going to be on quality, it's going to be on price, because people after this crisis, due to economic circumstances, will see price as a very defining decision of how to consume. It sounds both convincing, but I'm staying on the path of quality, because that makes me happy and to work with quality. And let's see what happens with Giraffe then. The new culture of spending money, I think there will become a little bit new culture in that sense that we become more aware of our way of life, perhaps, that we see that this way of spending money as we're doing it now with flying all over the world, and perhaps gives a new reset. But on the other hand, I'm doubtful about that, because when the crisis is over, I think a lot of people will go back to their old way of spending money and living, and they forget very soon. Influencing local governments to pass one is not a thing which I have a lot of contact with local governments. I'm too small for that, I think, and I don't have leads in the local government.
So Mark, sorry.
Yeah, please.
I was going to ask if in this case you're also happy to go with the working together, since it seems to be quite a to discuss that topic in more detail, and in the next couple of workshops to go through the rest. Does that sound, I mean, or would you rather cast your vote somewhere else?
Now, for me, and what I hear also with the other meters, is that most of us, we see the stars. How can business work together more is perhaps a thing I like to discuss now. I don't know what other people are feeling about it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be the consensus. And by the way, we have Alex on the line as well.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
So Alex, you've already met everyone else apart from Maarten. So I will just let you introduce yourself briefly, and then Maarten again, and then just to make sure that everybody knows everybody.
I'll be short. So basically, I work in this industry as a cocktail bartender for around 19-20 years, and I run a coffee shop, a specialty coffee shop, and a cocktail bar together with my partner Ioana. Basically, this is it. We are running this cocktail bar, which actually is very, very, very simple, as only 5 drinks on the menu. And now we are doing a lot of things like everybody else, trying to do deliveries and stuff like that. Some things are working, but we are seeing the half full glass of the full glass of the I forgot the English one I would say, but it's fine. So this is it basically. And I will go with with the first one.
Perfect.
Work together.
Perfect. And Maarten, if you can just say a couple of words about your roastery as well to Alex.
Now, I have a roastery in Rotterdam, Giraffe Coffee Roasters. I started in 2013. I mainly deliver to hotels, restaurants, and specialty coffee bars. I sell at the moment most of my coffee to the Netherlands, but I also send my coffee even today to Mauthausen in Austria, but also to Italy. And I'm in the part working of the business called, this specialty coffee.
Cool. All right. So thanks for all your amazing input. So many ideas already. So that is absolutely amazing. So thank you. What I thought we would do in the next part of the call is basically do a bit of brainstorming, and I thought about breaking down the challenge into multiple elements and into basically the resources that we need to find solutions to that chosen challenge. Those ideas don't have to be, actual ideas. They can just be, we need a tool to do this, or we need someone to do that thing. And at the end, after we've gathered all of them, we can then kind of put them together and kind of like a puzzle. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I have created this table where I thought about listing technological needs, human needs, business needs, existing services, and any other legal governmental needs that there may be. So obviously our challenge is how can businesses work together more? And there were a couple of things that came up during your comments earlier. So for example, one that has stuck to me mostly because it's a tool that I use at work every single day and a lot was, Adi, you mentioning the Slack channel. So I will just add this in here as an example. So basically use the Slack channel to communicate any changes in the measures and so on, or what?
We use it right now as like where everybody can ask questions and where we put like updates that we receive from various channels, that everybody has the same level of information to make decisions for the future.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we do in the Slack channel. And obviously you can really, enhance it into many areas where you can like put in like topics like, okay, these are the current issues that we are being challenged by the most, or this is a company that we worked with, it worked very well. Maybe if somebody needs something. So like, sort of like a, community table where everybody can open up and ask questions and answer questions.
Cool, very cool. And all right, so Gilles, you obviously mentioned the podcast, so I would add this as a second example. And now I will give the lead to all of you to bring any new.
At Giraffe, we do every 2 days online trainings for our customers, and we talk about very technical, detailed things in coffee, but also one training I can remember was just showing our roastery and how do we roast and how do we work, but also about how to prepare a filter coffee, how to clean up a home barista machine, how to adjust your grinder, that kind of things. We do every day or every 2 days now in online trainings at this week. And this doesn't get a very big audience, but when I look at the views, but strangely enough, I hear a lot of people talking about it. So how this is work, I don't know, but it's funny.
What
tool do you use for this? Is it because I saw that you are also doing some in
Instagram Live. My colleague is doing this because I'm too old for it. Now we do it through Instagram, and
Okay.
we post it. But I'm not an Instagram user. I'm only a how do you call it, a leecher. I sometimes watch, but I don't like Instagram very much. It's for me too much on photographs and not too much on information.
Okay, yeah. Are you, one question to both of you, are you recording any of these live discussions that you host?
Yeah, we record our trainings. Yeah.
Okay.
Why I always push no because after the session it's always if I want to share it or record it, and basically I just don't want to hear my voice once more than I have.
But what if other people would?
Yeah, I know, but then they have to tune in. They have to observe it. No, honestly, I don't know why actually. Because it's mostly, I would say 30 to 40% good content and 60% is bullshit and drinking. But somehow I think it's also important content, because I always try to take a bit the fear out of everyone I'm talking to. Just to tell them also, if we do deliveries, I mean, it's nothing you can make a living out of for now, but it makes me feel happy. Plus the customers, they get like a piece of bar at home, which I think will be long lasting. That's why I do it. That's why I tell people who are just starting now to do it after like a month or something, to encourage them to do it, because you're giving back and forth. That's why.
Yeah.
It's very important, I think, just to let your customers know that you're here, you know, that times are crazy for everybody, but even though everything is going crazy around you, that you're still here and that you are still offering some sort of service, even though if it's a completely different setting. Like we cook every day for Instagram, every day. Every day we prepare one meal and that we share on Instagram, and people are sending us picture how they did it, and it's crazy how much feedback you are getting from them. And this is something that we have never experienced before, like this level of interaction with our viewers and with this community that we have. We never saw that before. And next week there's something that we're going to try, something completely new. We want to go to the kitchens of the people. Like we would love to have sort of like a FaceTime or a call in, that we look into the fridge of the guys and say, okay, listen, what do you want to cook? Show me your ingredients that you want to get rid of, and we will prepare something together, and everybody from our Instagram community can watch. So it's something that we are exploring, and it makes happy. It gives you happiness. Like we have started delivering food in jars as well, and people. Last week I went with my wife, and people gave us chocolates, spices. They gave us so many presents that we had like 10, 12 pieces of chocolates and sweets and everything in our bag. And it gives you a certain sense of happiness, because, you know, it's being appreciated.
Yeah, I guess building the community. Go on, Alex.
I get also presents when I go with deliveries. I get from my customers. I got today some herbs from a friend's garden. He was like, yeah, I have this sage for you. And he actually put it in a small package, and it was amazing. He gave me like a lot of herbs from the garden. I was like, come on, that's amazing.
We have to share these stories. We have to share these stories to our community, to all the food community, that there is something beautiful happening out of that situation, that people care, you know, people are still people, and people are still here. So this is something that we really need to do, like share these positive things and create this positive bubble around that misery.
Any thoughts on any of these?
Yeah, we want to change the coffee shop into a grocery store as well. We wanted to have that. So we're working on this thing, because we realized that actually going to a grocery store is basically a social event. So it's not very different than going to a coffee shop actually. And doing that, we wanted to actually collaborate with other small artisans and add only a 10% fee or something that will just cover our, I don't know, let's say certain fees with the government. Maybe we will just not even make money, but the idea is actually we're in this together, and let's bring closer to people some products. Because the only bad thing about it is like you can't really shop further on than your area. So you have to shop near you. And then if you don't have a big market or something amazing around you, then you are stuck with a general supermarket, probably a small one. you wouldn't find anything, you know, and it just become boring and weird to buy food from there. You don't, especially if you want something else from your buying experience. And yeah, we will tell you how this is going to be, because in 2 weeks I think we will start all this project. But yeah, this is the way that we think we will collaborate with people, trying to put products, yeah, from whoever doesn't have, I don't know, a delivery system, or you know, he wants another place to be stocked, you know, I'm not sure. Yeah. And I think supporting that, as you say, supporting other people now, I think it will just bring a long-term relationship that will stand for, I mean, and get partners into this that you run with. Hopefully they, you know, most of them, they are really amazing people that are doing this for passion, and then, you know, yeah, this is main thing. Otherwise, I'm curious about the Slack channel. I think it's an amazing idea. I'll try to think about if I can implement something like this with bars.
Actually, Alex, because when I started Food on Our Tables, we built this list of restaurants and bars and so on doing deliveries in Bucharest together with another food blogger. And in order to share all the information and so on, we actually set up a Slack channel. And so there's that in place. You know, if you need any support, I'd be happy to share that.
I want to get in as well. Try to.
Cool. Yeah, I will invite you to that. I was thinking about sharing my screen, because I think there's a lot of value in actually seeing each other more than just watching me write what we anyway discuss. And you've seen the various points. So we're talking about, you know, technologies, people, the business itself, and then, you know, stuff like what exists already that we could leverage. Or, you know, any kind of legal government needs.
Yeah, I think another important thing today and right now in this is like people probably want to see that you want to find a solution to their problem.
Mm-hmm.
If they come towards you with something and you can't do it, I think the least they expect at least something like, right, let's try something here, or I think a lot of people forget that today trying to solve a problem with somebody will wait a lot in the long term, you know, because that person is going to remember in these difficult times who was there, and I actually was there, but mostly, okay, we're doing this now and I need something, and this guy is actually willing to help. That will just hold weight, yeah. And I think it's important to kind of have an open mind to things like that. When somebody asks for help, to try to at least see if you can help. Probably another condition when, you know, before all of this, maybe we'll just say something like, oh yeah, I'm busy, I don't know if I'm going there or not. But today I think it's quite nice to try to see if you can help.
Do you think enough people ask for help if they need it?
Not sure. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I'll probably add this as a point in terms of human related stuff, just to encourage people to actually ask for help.
Yeah, plus I think many people are just having a lack of, let's call it, creative horizons, because they are just, okay, we are closed, there's nothing we can do about it. They accept the situation they are in. That's what at least I'm getting from the talks I have. They don't see anything, like they just don't know how to act and react to the situation there is. So I mean, we were in Vienna, there were just two bars doing deliveries in the first month. It was us and another bar. No one else did before. So what we have now as a big problem in Austria is that there are just taxi companies, Uber companies, stuff like that, start doing deliveries, and they buy directly from the big companies. So they have a way better price that they outsell us by far. And we are now, like, we have a gathering of many bar owners who are now talking to several industry partners and tell them, listen guys, if you are supporting that right now, if you are just giving out booze for basically very, very cheap price to some basic cab companies, taxi companies, delivery companies, we will not buy from you anymore. So we are trying to really kind of lobby.
Coming back to who is going to be there after that, you know?
Yeah.
Because the time those guys are not doing delivery anymore after the crisis, but we are still buying from you or not. That's your choice now.
Because
So
taxi guys, they will not.
way to do it right now.
So guys, the way we're delivering cocktails, so it's basically we are pre-mixing most of the cocktail. So the alcohol by volume will go around the liqueur or an aperitif in certain cases, all right? Because if you have fresh lemon juice that you filter very well and mix with some syrup and with alcohol, you just need to put some soda and prosecco or something like that at home, and you end up with a cocktail. Yeah, we have this crazy cocktails that we call hop dog. Is basically Riesling with gin, hop syrup, and elderflower and lemon juice. Basically, it's a mixture of white wine spritzer with some gin and beer flavors because you have hop syrup. Yeah. We put it together. It was like gin tonic, yes. Yes. White wine spritzer, yes. Beer, yes. Whenever somebody came at the bar and said, "I had beer. What do you suggest?" We are saying hop dog all the time. It was our joke. So this one it's holding for 2 weeks at least in the fridge. But the idea is like we have Negronis and stuff like that, and we go into spritzer area, like Aperol spritz style, because people know how to do it anyway at home. You know, another thing that we can do and we wanted to do is actually to enhance the gin and tonic of people, of the guys at home. You know, try to do ingredients that they are not going to buy fucking 7 garnishes. You know, but maybe they want something special. So you will add just a teaspoon or whatever of this concentrated. Think about bitters, but not really, more in the maybe a little bit of sugar and stuff. So they just add this thing, and people get excited about different things like that. And we have people that, and we encourage them as well, but they bought drinks and they had it on Zoom for somebody's birthday party. So they did kind of a birthday party with drinks from Fix and stuff like that. But it's very important to, I think, in our case, it was important, and we found this. They knew that kind of drinks before, so it was we don't do classic drinks like Manhattan and Martini and stuff like that. Most of the time, we do very easygoing, low ABV. And we deliver personally, and we let them know that, okay, we are doing few deliveries in this area, but we're doing by bike, and we say hi, and it's kind of a social event as well. I know friends that they say, I'm going to order a drink just to talk with Alex, you know, because I miss him. It's like, fair enough. And yeah.
We offer free shots if people answer the door naked.
All right.
They do all the time. We always have our shots with us. in case they open the door naked. And I would say 1 out of 5 is standing there all naked and drinking a shot with us together. Just so they can have a shot with us. I don't know why it's working, but it does.
Oh wow, this is amazing. This is really, really thinking outside the box. That's a great idea. Are you, how are you doing your deliveries, Gilles?
By foot, by bike, by motorbike, by car, everything.
So you guys do it?
Twice a week we cover all of, like during the day, on Tuesday and Friday we cover all of Vienna, plus a few areas around where we have friends that live there, and we do like, if they have like 3 or 4 guys who gather together, we do a delivery there out in Upper Austria. And other than that, we do twice a week in the evening from the bar. Within half an hour, we deliver into 4 districts that are pretty close. Plus, we do sales by window, so people pre-order, they just come. Some people now, because our beer is running bad, our draft beer, are just passing by with their own glass, and they're just downing like 2 liters of beer in 5 minutes. They can talk to us, they can get out of the house, and they're just having a few beers from tap. I don't know why, but people go nuts for tap beer because they don't have their phone. So that's the kind we do, is like 2 deliveries during the day together with the coffee and natural wine and the spirits, and the evening we just do cocktails out of the bar on Friday and Saturday, plus the beer if you pick up.
I'm still amazed how DHL hasn't write you anything yet.
Did you?
I'm still amazed that you didn't get any post by DHL because of the branding.
Oh yeah.
I was like, how is that possible?
Adi, how are you guys doing your deliveries?
A lot of trial and error, because we had to like build that web shop up in 1 day.
Oh wow.
And it took us, sitting in front of the computer. Thank God there is YouTube there. Thank God, because you can basically learn everything from YouTube, everything. And what we are doing is we are, together with Simone, I'm sitting in the car, she's typing in the address, and the first one was a nightmare because, we knew, okay, we will deliver in Klosterneuburg and Vienna. And I know which districts comes first, but I don't know which address makes sense to drive first, And Google Maps only makes 9 addresses that you can find in, and then it will optimize your route. So the first time was a nightmare. We just, drove 10 hours in between for 57 deliveries.
Wow.
And the second time I had the right tools, but then I fucked up. So I wrote down 3 orders wrong, so I had to deliver the next day. But there are so many tools. There's a company from Germany called Route XL. You can type in 20 addresses, and they will optimize everything, up to 20 addresses.
You need the name right away, Route XL.
RouteXL.de, 20 address, and you can type in 20 address as often you want. Like if you have 60 address, you just type in the first 20, and then the next 20, and the next 20, and it will give you the best route. And the other thing was we had a delivery window from 10 to 6, which is, normally people would say, "Are you nuts? 8 hours? What I'm supposed to do?" And we were like, "Yeah, guy, what you gonna do elsewise? You're at home anyway, so we're gonna come from 10 to 6 somewhere where it seems fit." And we are delivering, and we have, today I received the right packaging that I can use for the delivery process. Because first time it was just brown bags with heavy glasses. Second time it was wine boxes, the white wine boxes, the small ones, where the glasses just, wouldn't fit. And this time I have the right packaging, the right branding, everything is, but now my printer for the small etiquette is not working. So I have to find a solution for that. I still have 12 hours to figure it out. So it's gonna be
that we could, like all of the people who deliver in Vienna, small businesses, could do together, like choose 2 or 3 people, or like gather a few packaging companies, and then just big. That's what we are trying to do now with the other bars. agree on one company and we all just buy from them together to make costs a bit, to lower the costs.
And this is something that we might exchange, because we are delivering on Friday. We are driving basically from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th and 20th district. So if you have some orders here, you guys could, like, okay, this is going here, here, here. And maybe we could do a cooperation here as well, because we have a huge car and yeah, it doesn't take that much space. And we are on the road anyway. So that might be an interesting idea to explore.
Some very interesting ideas. And Maarten, how are you doing your deliveries and so on? I know that you also do Europe-wide deliveries. Do you still do those? You're on mute. I unmuted you. Well, no, it doesn't work. I can't do it for some reason.
Yeah. We started to do it with ourselves for all our clients in the region. But then the local government in Rotterdam started to get cars out of the city. So it became practically impossible for us to deliver by car. And we had a parking fee of around 400 euros every month. So, and a lot of stress because you couldn't park. And then we bought a month ago a delivery cargo bike. And we set this on hold because of the crisis. And now we deliver still with one car and by bike, and a little bit with also delivery partners like kind of DHL. So that's in between at the moment. And for international shipments and really outside of Rotterdam, we do it also with partners. But Amsterdam, I'm doing myself, because I'm living between Rotterdam and Amsterdam. And we like to be at our customers because we do grinder settings, we talk to the baristas, and we hear a lot, and we invite them to the academy. So it's for us also a very important marketing tool. And for people who like to sell the coffee at home, we actually only use DHL partners. PostNL it's called. Yeah.
Very interesting. I guess the challenges are similar no matter where you are in Europe.
I had to invest for now 500 euros into my car, and the 3 last days I paid 250 euros fine to the police because of parking situation. We don't have anywhere to park in front of the bar or the coffee shop, so we just park on the pavement, on the street, wherever. And yeah, I got caught speeding once, 39 in a 30 zone. Plus, it's impossible to talk to anyone right now when it comes to the police. If you ask them, please, I just do deliveries. I try to survive somehow. I'm here for 5 minutes. They don't give a shit. You have to pay anyway. So that's
everybody's so tense right now. All the police guys are so tense.
But I'm starting to get tense too. That's the problem. It gets always more expensive.
Yeah.
How many deliveries you manage to do per day, max?
We are 2 people delivering, and sometimes a third one is helping. So during the day, I try to do 30 to 40.
Yeah.
Twice a week, and in the evening we do, let's say, 20 to 25. Within 30 minutes, though, we try. And during the day, I just tell them I deliver between 1 and 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
And if you're not there, I just give it to the neighbor, whatever.
So, are you doing this every day?
No, like Tuesday, Friday during the day, and Friday, Saturday in the evening.
Okay.
Because it's just the 2 of us, and 2 of us have kids. Our wives are also independent working. My wife is doing pottery, so she has to go to the studio and produce as well, and I cannot deliver all the time. And we had to, unfortunately, fire everyone in the company, and we are now trying to get them back in step by step.
Yeah. We try to use whatever we had. So, for example, we have this water bottles. Actually, I have one here. It's like this.
You frozen.
And we took the label off, and we. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are using these bottles for packaging, and we had from Christmas market some paper, some brown paper, and we just got crafty and started making a packaging that's also a bag. It's more like a bag, you could hold it. So I don't use another bag for that. I tried to spend at least no money at all. That's why I'm not using a car or something. I prefer to do it less deliveries, but do it by foot or by bike. We kind of put it into perspective. If we will have like 10 deliveries, we will probably cover our rent. And that's pretty amazing. And we are getting there. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
10 deliveries a day.
Yeah. And I want to do it every day. I think it's just maybe at some point we'll have one day or two off, but I want to do it every day.
I have an idea for Maarten that just popped up now when it comes to delivering beans and making more mass. I don't know how the special, because like we have two in the company. I take care of the cocktail bar, and my colleague is more taking care of the specialty coffee and that side. But is there a good network international between coffee shops and coffee roasters? Because there is always on Christmas, I don't know how it's called in English, it's third wave Wichteln, where you just pick randomly on an internet site, you pick a name and a country, and you send one of your like 250 gram coffee to a certain person you picked. And it would be a nice idea if you do that now, but instead of doing like a small amount of coffee, you just have a second roast, which you sell as well from a different roaster. So for example, we would sell one of your roasts in our coffee shop as well, plus our roaster would sell in one of the coffee shops where you are also present, so that you have a bit international turning. So first off, your brand gets known in more places, plus your coffee is turning. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I don't know how the network is.
No, I never heard this idea, but I find it a fantastic idea. Yeah. And perhaps we can talk a little bit later about this idea to work with your roaster together. And yeah, I find it a very great idea. Yeah. Before I started Giraffe, I was an editor of a magazine about coffee and tea and chocolate, and I wrote a lot of city trips also about Vienna. And I had of course the fortune to be in Istanbul, to be in London, to be in Sydney, and to write and to see all those specialty coffee scenes. And then you are, yeah, it sounds like a cliche, but you're most of the times really amazed by what is happening in all those cities. And it's really a big thing going on. On the other hand, if you do, to be honest, if you do 6 origin specialty coffee trips to cities, it's all started a little bit to be the same. Of course, it's also tricky because there is also a lot of copying going around the world for specialty coffee, and what seems to be original in Rotterdam is actually a copy of a shop in London, of course. But I think it's a very good idea to share other coffees with our customers. I do it for myself. I buy a lot of coffees from other roasters just to see how they work, what kind of ideas they have, how to roast coffee. And it tells me a lot about trends in coffee, or in my opinion, in my humble opinion, what they miss in quality. I find it very interesting. Yeah.
I just, Ioana, I just have to leave pretty soon because my kids go to bed. I'm in the kids' room actually.
No problem.
Lay down the smaller one, so I unfortunately have to say goodbye.
It was lovely having you on.
Would be happy to connect to everyone. And Maarten, I left you a private message in the chat here because I'm intrigued by your coffee packaging, where you made it from the customized one. So maybe I wrote my email down, so maybe you can text me.
As always, I'll send you an email with everyone's details so that you can reach out to each other.
Thank you, Gilles.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I have to leave, but yeah.
Wow.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
I'm very happy to see that the first call was very kind of freestyle and we were trying to lay the foundations. The second call was with a very specific agenda and we had to do very specific things, but I'm very happy to see this call develop very organically and bouncing ideas off each other, and this is really exactly what I wanted to do with this project, just bring people together and allow for idea sharing, because maybe Adi, despite the fact that you're not into the bar business, you may have an idea that could help Alex.
Totally.
I think fun with the perfect packaging and stuff. It's amazing that you just started with whatever you had and then you kind of develop it further and further. And I think probably you see now what we all see here. It's like when you start delivering, you're like, oh my God, it's a market here that I can use. If I would get back together with the restaurant, with the bar, not necessarily in the same level, but there, and preserve all of this delivery as well, and try to make it better and try to actually make use of it and kind of stay there. Christmas is coming. Be there for them. Like, hey guys,
yes,
we're still doing deliveries. Don't you worry if you're not reaching us, bang bang. So I think that's going.
Oh, Alex, the old thing happened where we couldn't hear you. I think it's because I started typing. Sorry.
No worries.
No, actually, still.
No, but now we can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good.
Okay.
I was wondering if this is going to just be norm for a lot of small entrepreneurs, like small businesses, small coffee shops, small bars, that they will extend part of the business into the delivery system, right?
Or a shop or something.
I think you have to. I think you have to. At certain extent, you have to. Because when the clients are not coming to your place, you have to go to their place. Either it being with a package or... So what we have done is, for our business, we have now 3 pillars right now that we can see moving forward and maintaining these 3 pillars. The first one are the shops. We hope that we can open them soon. The second one is our internet presence, where we cook, where we share recipes, where we create some sort of a community that we show that cooking is easy. It's not something that, I don't know, where you have to be precise and where some jerk will shout at you when you don't do it right. Cooking is easy. You are done when it tastes. When you say, hey, I like this, how it tastes, then you're done with cooking. So this is the second pillar. And the third pillar is definitely going to be our web shop with deliveries, because for us, it was important to have something that is sustainable, not just, okay, we don't have any money coming in. We need to do something right now.
Yeah.
Because then you end up doing bad decisions and doing bad business. And, why waste time? So we are quite happy how that developed. And I think, especially because we put it in a jar and it's sealed and it's more or less durable, and you can keep it in your fridge for many weeks, we could see expanding that next year with a postal partner. Just pack it up and send it Austria, in the whole country.
Nice.
Why stick to Vienna? And
the packaging is really fantastic. You should look at their Instagram page.
I will check it.
Very nice.
And the next thing is that we were working on from last year. Something that I find very intriguing is enabling people to cook more, because when they cook more, they appreciate high quality goods more, being it coffee, being it high produced in beverages or vegetables. And this is something that is very important to us, to show them to appreciate quality. I mean, everything that you consume is a product where a lot of people have spent many days developing it. And this is something that is very important to us. And that's why we would love to develop curry base, sort of like a sugo that you have at your home all the time. Why not have curry base already in your fridge or in your pantry that you can just pick out? Buy high quality vegetables, stir them in a fryer, just put the sauce in or the base in, and then you're done. And you have something, that is nutritious, that is fresh, that is easy made, and you don't have to clean the kitchen after that with all the turmeric spots in your kitchen.
And also, rather than buying it ready made from some enormous producer where you have no idea where the ingredients come from and all of that.
Or even if you order it and you pay, like, especially this is something that I find disturbing in Vienna, you pay, like if you order Indian food, it's very, very expensive. You pay for a medium to low level curry, you pay like 14 euros, which is, oh my God. And you have like 3 or 4 pieces of cream cheese or fresh cheese in there, and they're charging you 14 euros for that. So I think it's important that we show people more how to do it by themselves, because this is the only way how they will appreciate if somebody gives them level of quality,
Yeah. Speaking of kind of educating the customers, Maarten, I'm sure my brother Andre has already told you that, but he was, and when I told him that you were joining the call, he said, please, make sure that, everyone who makes great coffee promotes it, even for, small espresso machines, that you don't need a super expensive espresso machine to be able to make a decent coffee. And I guess it applies to you, Maarten, mostly. Oh, nice. And Alex as well, because you also have your coffee, and you also sell your coffee.
Yeah. I told your brother that we do also home barista trainings at our roastery. So it's always very funny. We do this in the evening. We can get 6 of students. It's always a man coming in with a Volvo, typical, and a very expensive small machine, with a sad woman behind it, and they come at 6:30. We start with cleaning machines. That's always the start of the evening, because all those home machines are incredibly dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start a small college about extraction, how it works, grinder settings, how to, it's really incredible sometimes that people have machines of 3,000-4,000 euros. I see that, Adri, you have a La Marzocco Mini, I see, if I see it correct.
It is.
A wonderful machine also. And sometimes the people who invest this kind of money, such fantastic machines, they don't understand nothing about extraction. And but what I explained to your brother is that it's not the machine, actually, not the espresso machine. It's the knowledge of making good extraction is working with your grinder and know what the quality is of your machine. I have a very good machine here at home. It's very forgiving. And it's really difficult to make a bad espresso with my machine. But I have a case from the West at the company. It's 2 groups, and it's one of the best machines considered in the world. But I always say, if you have a $600 euros machine, you can make the same quality of coffee with that machine in a couple of shots, only a couple of shots perhaps, but you can reach the level of that professional machine. And we do this at the end of the evening. So when it's 11 o'clock, we make a very simple espresso machines, top of the bill espressos. And that's what we do in those evenings. And that's what I shared with your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you won't believe it if you see what's happening in an evening. People are so extremely enthusiastic because they drink for the first time in their life a very good espresso. Machine. Yeah. It's that simple. And I really like to stress that the grinder is the most important. Buy a good grinder, and don't set your money on the machine. Of course it helps. Of course it helps. I cannot deny it when I have these machines at home, but this I use also professional. It's my cupping tool.
Great. No, that's Alex.
The thing about high quality coffee is the fact that basically you can't go back. You can't go back to bad coffee anymore. If you had good coffee, it's there in you. You know, look at this guy. He just made himself a cappuccino. Yeah, is that true, Adi? You had to go and make your own cappuccino because you want that kind of, you know. And I talk with a lot of people, and they say that they miss more than everything else. Going to a coffee shop and have a flat white, you know, because you know you do a brew at home. Maybe you make like you put some butter with a brew, or like in crate. I forgot the name of the coffee with butter.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, bulletproof, and maybe it's tasty and it's amazing, but still you miss that coffee shop full of people and going there and take a flat white and go.
Yes.
In the sun and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a part that is going to come back full force. I think it's going to be the first one. Coffee shops are going to be like bang. It will be harder with, I don't know, coffee and food, but I think that will come second, you know. But coffee shop will be easy.
Right, guys, so we have reached the end of the times that I allowed for this session in the calendar. I will stop recording, and we can obviously, whoever would like to still stay and chat more, you know, maybe, yeah, it's completely up to you. But now it's basically just open space.